Hi there. Today I am going to be showing you guys how to create something inside Artistly. Then we're going to pull it into Canva and I'm going to show you how to use the Canva Pro features of the filters. Now, I don't use the free version and it's been so long and they've added so many things. I'm not really sure whether you have filters in the free version. So if you don't see that feature, then you would probably have to upgrade and do the paid pro version. But anyway, as I've said before, I think Canva Pro at the price it is even now, even though it's gone up a little bit now, is totally worth the price because of the various features that you have. But if you can't afford right now to do that, then I'm sure there's some workarounds and stuff. I always tell people to go back into your computers, into old software, and see if you find certain features. Like if you're looking for filters, then if you have Photoshop, there's filters. If you had some of the paint programs have some filters. So just go and explore what's already on your computer that you may have used a long time ago, and maybe you've swapped it out. Now you're using different software, and you may be able to find some filters. You really could use filters from any program, but we're going to use Canva Pro today. So we're going to go into our AI designer, and I am going to let's just design some flowers and we'll go through there because this is a fairly simple thing. So we're going to just type in a prompt here, and I don't know what this is going to turn out like, so I'm just going to use it. So I'm going to do Clipart, a bouquet of mixed florals and eucalyptus isolated against a white background. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with Artistly, it is the program that I create all of my art. It is a great AI platform, especially for anyone that's just starting out and doesn't have prior knowledge of Midjourney or anything like that. Now, can you change over? Absolutely, but I never used Midjourney. I got this program back in the fall of 23 when they first launched, and on their launch day. And so I never got to the point where I started using Midjourney. So I'm not saying Midjourney's good. Lots of people use it. It's very popular, very well known. Artistly is not as well known, but they do have a couple of differences, and one is the way the platform is laid out. As you see, this is more like a program. So for anyone that gets intimidated by all of the things you have to go through to even get to Midjourney to use it, this one is a little bit simpler to me to use. It's also, you pay one time, right now at least. They may later on go on a subscription model, but right now they have a one-time option. And you have two choices. You can start with sort of a basic package, which is like around $49 right now. And of course, you'd have to check prices because videos, when they get out there, I don't know when you're going to be watching this, but and then they also have a $149 package. I have the most expensive one because that is the only one that was offered in the beginning. It has all the bells and whistles, and it does have features that the other one does not. There is a rundown. I have a link to Artistly down in the comments. It's my affiliate link, and if you decide to try it out, I would appreciate you using that. It doesn't cost you any more to use it, but it does help me, and it helps me sort of devote the time I need to create these videos to help you with your business. So that's that little spiel. But anyway, they right now they have a 30-day money back guarantee. So if you get in there and you just don't like it, then you can ask for your money back. Also, if you use my link and you let me know, I have a group inside Facebook, a private group that I'd be glad to welcome you into, because we share tips or I share tips, and you can also sort of if you're in digital product creation, there are other members inside the group that are using Artistly, and we all kind of help each other. And it's just an easier way for me to communicate other than my videos. So we can help support each other. So I'd be glad to send you an invite. And that way, even if you're thinking about trying it out, but maybe you haven't made that move yet and you want to go into my group just to kind of ask questions and look and see what other people are creating that is similar to your product creation, because I know a lot of people do images. There's tons of Facebook groups out there for just purely creating images, but my group is a little bit different because most of the people that are in my group are doing product creation, digital product creation, and they're using the AI program to build products. And so it's more of an application of the images. So it's coming from a little bit different perspective than most of the AI groups that you see out there, and the prompting and all of that. So anyway, so if you decide you want to try it, just message me, stick something in the comments, let me know that you've actually joined or whatever, and or that you're thinking about it, and I'll make sure that you know how to get into my group. Okay, so we're going to start with this prompt, and we're going to be able to select here what type of art we want to create, and I'm going to create watercolor. And then we're just going to click generate design. So that's a fairly simple thing. Now what this does is the very first one you do is going to do one image. Okay, so there we have our image. Immediately, I'm going to go up here and make this private. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that that's important. We don't want everybody in the world seeing our image. So this is the community tab over here, and it's a great place to get ideas. If you want to, you can actually click into any of these and grab some of these prompts, look at what the prompts, how they're constructed, that sort of thing. Now, this is where your images are going to go if you don't click private, which is fine if you want them to go there. I don't want mine personally to go there, but if you forget to do private, it will go there, and then everybody can have access to those. So we're going to go back to the personal designs. We're going to go back to the one we just created. And like I said, normally I'll go up here and make it private, and then down here, I'm going to go down here. This is a new little tip that I actually have a video on. I was categorizing these into different things, but I'm also going to be using a new technique, which is styles. So if I want to reuse this particular prompt, I'm going to go down and put it into my styles folder. So that way I have at least an image that has this prompt connected with it. And then I don't have to sift through all of the different images and figure out which one has a different prompt to go back to recreate things. And if you've been watching my videos, you know that the way I prompt is I'll create a prompt. If it is a good prompt and I like it, I will take and I will adjust it, which means I'm going to change things. So for instance, with this one, we're going to go back down, because in order to work with this one, and a lot of people get really confused about how to, and they question how I come up with my clip art packs, and I have they look similar but different, and they have sort of the same look to them. So this is one of the things that I do. Basically what I do is I redesign this one prompt. So if I want, let's just say I want multiple other images like this one, I'm going to go down here, and what I'm going to do is I'm in the deluxe version. So it's not called deluxe, it's called premium, I think. But anyway, it's the more expensive one. And that is a one-time lifetime. You don't have to do a per month thing. But anyway, it has the option of doing 4 images at a time. It also has the option of changing the size here. Now, once you get above here, and actually this one doesn't, I think maybe this one, yeah, this one right here, this one doesn't have, okay. Once you can do this one and do 4, and that's typically the size I start at to do single images. Now, here is something to keep in mind. Okay, as far as upscaling and getting your high resolution, when they come out of Artistly, they're going to be about, I think it's 76 DPI to 96 DPI if you upscale. So they're not going to be a very high DPI, but they're also a smaller dimension. So if you do multiples at the 1024 by 1024, you're going to want to upscale that before you do anything else to it, because otherwise, and you're going to have to look, if there's like 20 images in that 1024 by 1024 and you're going to break them apart, their quality is probably not going to be very good. If you have 1 or 2 or 3 images in that 1024 by 1024, then you're probably going to be okay if you upscale it. You can actually upscale it through Artistly, and I'll show you that step as well. But I use a program now called Pixel Cut because it was really cheap for a year, and it saves me a ton of time because I can upscale and remove backgrounds in batches. So I can do my whole entire pack, or pretty close to my whole entire pack, all at one time, and then go back in and do my whole pack and remove backgrounds or whatever. So I can do that now that way. You can do it in Canva. You just do it 1 image at a time. Their background remover is awesome. And now they have an upscale feature that is also pretty good. So you have some options there. If you have Artistly, you can upscale inside Artistly, and then you also have the other options. So I don't normally upscale through Artistly if I'm doing just a single image at a 1024 by 1024, because I found that the quality by the time I work with it inside Canva and I download it is still pretty good. So just keep that in mind. You'll have to experiment because your needs are going to be probably different, and your image is different, and what you're trying to achieve is going to be different. So these are all just suggestions of how I do it, and you will get your own routine together and figure out what works for you, and that's kind of part of the fun. So anyway, so we're going to do now 4 images, so that'll give us 5 images to work with. And now if you're working in Artistly and your 4 images, or you'll end up with 5 because it does a single one first. If you're working with these images and it does 4 at a time, don't be afraid to throw something away or just not use it. I mean, it's not a perfect science yet, even though people want to say that AI is just, so much better. Okay, so here are the images. All of these are good enough that I would use them. So I'm going to go up here and make it private real quick. And then what we're going to do is we are going to upscale one. So I am going to go into the AI upscaler right here. This is just to show you how it works in Artistly. Okay, so we're going to go into, sorry, that's not what I want to do. You can upload an image from your computer. You can also add an image URL. I never use that feature. And then you can select from your personal design. Since we just designed that one, I'm going to do this one. Now you can upscale it 1K or 2K. I'm going to do the 2K. And then if this were a photograph, you can do improve human photos. So you can actually, I've had some of my grandchildren that, you know, I took it with the phone on the camera on the phone, and it was a little blurry or something, and it does a pretty good job of just doing that. So that's just another way you can use Artistly just for your personal images. And we're going to upscale the design. And like I said, I'm just doing this just to kind of show you. I normally wouldn't do it with just a single image, but I'm going to show you how to do it. So that way that's upscaled. Now we are just going to download that image so that we can pull it into Canva. That's actually pretty lovely little image there. Okay, now we're going to go into Canva. And what I'm going to do is I am going to go over here and show you what I would normally do. So normally I have brand templates set up. I have videos on how to do this if you're interested. Okay, so this is just my template that I use, so I don't have to recreate everything. And then I'm going to go down and get a clean page. I'm going to upload. Now, another thing that I do often is when I'm working on a new pack, so I'm just going to name this Mixed Flowers. You can create a folder, Mixed Flowers. And then you can actually, just so your uploads file doesn't get so huge, you can go ahead and instead of uploading into the general folder, go ahead and upload into individual folders. It will, in the long run, save you lots of times finding things. Okay, so we're going to select this file and we're going to upload it. Okay. And then when we get it uploaded, I'm going to show you some ways that you can actually make your Clipart images go further. We're going to drag this over here and then we're going to play with it. So we have this image. We're going to make a copy of it. And now I'm going to show you a couple of other things you can do with it. So we're going to go in here. We're going to use the flip feature. And I'm going to flip it vertically. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it down like this. I'm going to duplicate it. And then I'm going to drag it right here. And I'm going to flip it vertically again. And then we're going to do this. Okay. What I should have done first and what I normally done, I just kind of got out of my flow here because, okay. We're going to go over here to the background removal. That's edit image, and that's going to pop up, and then we're going to remove these backgrounds. Normally, I would have done it before I did the flipping just to save some of the process. But then what we can do is create a new image. Now, what we can do is we click on these, and we are going to group them. Group it. Okay, so it's grouped. Okay, so now what we want to do is I'm going to turn it this way. Okay, so we've created a new image by duplicating two of the images. So now we have like a cute little header perhaps, and let's just see if we can this is on a mini scale because this is not the size you would be doing this if you were doing like a wedding invitation or something, but okay. So you can add a frame. Let's just add a shape here. And let's do a circle and see what that's going to look like. I'm doing this on the fly, so this is just sort of you're watching my process. So we're going to make this sort of an oval frame. Obviously, we don't want it that color, so we're going to do gray to start. Or let's go down here and do this one, and then what we can do is we can add a little transparency so it's a little lighter color. We're going to also use our position, and we are going to go over here and we're going to move it to the back. Okay, so now we can lift it up a little bit, and there we have a really cute little image there. Okay, so we've got this. What we could do is even we could elongate it a little bit, and then we can take this, we can go up here and copy it, and then paste, and then drag it like this, and we can flip it vertically. Whoops, sorry, that didn't work. That's not what we wanted. Okay, so let's just drag it like this because it's not letting me flip it. Okay, so now we have created a frame. This we would probably want a little lightweight line around, and we could play with the border, and we could the border color, we could do it this color or that color. I actually think I like it. Okay. All right. Now, it's not a very bold color because it's also showing a little bit of transparency. So here we have created something totally new using the elements that we created inside of Artistly. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this page because now we're going to play even more. And we are going to play with the editing our image by using the filters. So to find filters, go to your edit image and then look down to filters, see all, and it'll open up all of this. So let's do this latte because it's kind of pretty. And we're just going to go through and change these to the latte. That is amazing. And look how pretty that is. Now we're going to duplicate the page again, and we're going to go back into, and what you can do, it's grouped, but you're still going to have to do the individual ones, unfortunately. Okay, so let's go back into our filters again, and then we're going to play with the intensity even. So you can actually drag this bar, and you can get an even different color. Just make sure if you're doing it like I am with an image like this, that you drag it about the same place to get it back where all of them are sort of matching. But see, you can create your own color scheme. This is wonderful when you do a pack. Let's just imagine that you have, and we're going to go ahead and group all of this together so that we're not, okay, whoops, I missed one. Okay, we're going to group them all. Okay, now we can drag it. So we have right here, we have basically created 1, 2, 3 options. And then we can do it again. We can even take and we can, you know, you could move it like this. I like it better the other way, but you know, that's just showing you to play around with things so that you can, let me straighten it back up here. Okay, here, let's do it this way. One, two, three. Okay, so we're gonna do it again. Okay, so let's go and try something a little bit more dramatic. Let's go into our filters and let's play with some of the bolder colors, or maybe the soft. Let's do this aura, and let's go ahead and drag it all the way over, and then drag it all the way over. Look how pretty that is. And really, you haven't you didn't need new art. You just created a new pack. I mean, you're creating new images just by changing the filter. So this is really good with lots of other things. I'm going to pull in some of my art that I've already made. Let's go into some of my folders. Let's go over to projects. Let's go to folders, and then let's just look and see what else I have. So let's just look at how you could change. I'm trying to look at one that would be really show. Okay, let's go into our ballerinas. Okay, so let's grab one of my little ballerinas. Let's grab her. Okay, so let's look at our ballerina, and we have kind of a normal pinkish look. Okay. So now let's go into edit image. Let's look at all of the options, and let's go down to the vintage. Let's see. There's a fade, which that is a little too much. So that's when you can adjust. But see, this gives you a much softer looking little girl. I'm going to put it back I'm going to back out of this one just so I can. Okay, let's do a couple of them. Okay, starting from the main one. Okay, so this one we're going to do in the vintage. We're going to do the fade. And now that's a little light, but what we can do is we can drag our intensity just a little bit, and then we'll get a really soft little girl image, and that's very pretty. So if you're looking to make your images just your pack a little softer, and maybe artistly when it came out the colors were a little bit stark for the look you're going for, then you can go in and adjust it using the filters. And so let's do this one and see how she would look in the vintage. Let's look at her and see what we could do a little pack, how it would look. So let's go back. We're going to choose the same vintage fade. Okay. And just fade her out just a little bit till we. Okay, I think that's about. So that would be her. And then let's do one of the little ones with the darker hair. Do her. Let's see how she would look. Okay. Go back in and choose the vintage fade. So we need to darken her up just a tiny bit. So there, you can play with those images, and there, you can see the comparison. I'm going to drag this one up, and you can see the comparison between what our original image looked like and then how we can do the fade or whatever. So let's go with this little girl, and let's copy her a couple of times so we can kind of see some different looks. Okay, so this is our original, and then we want to play with her. So let's go the other way. This is the vivid. So let's go Zeal. So see, this darkened her up just a little bit, and then let's try, we did vintage. Okay, this is natural, so these are some different choices here. Warm. Cool. I'm just going to kind of clip through. Now see, that's a pretty. This was our original, if you remember. this was going a little darker, and then this is the Astro. Then you got Tundra. Now that's a good little combo that you could adjust from. And then we did Vivid. Let's do Soft. Okay. Oceanic, I don't like that one. Nimbus, I don't like that one. The Vintage, you've got Nostalgic, Dream, don't really like those. So again, you're just pretty much picking out, I did like the Fade, you know, because you can get a nice little light muted color out of that. Now here are these crazy color pops, which I think are sort of fun. X Pro, Extra Pro. I think you get the idea. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go out of the filters, and then we're going to look and see if there's anything else that possibly we might be able to use. Okay, one of the things that people ask about all the time is where do you find the shadows? So I may as well show you the shadows. So I'm just going to grab, for this example, go to Elements, and then I'm going to search for a book. Okay, let's see what we've found. I'll tell you what, let's do this. Let's go into a mock-up of an invitation, because that's what a lot of people are using it for. And this is a pro one, but this one actually already has the shadow, so we don't want to use that one. So let's do this. Let's just put a frame in here. Tell you what. That one already has one. Let's go into my projects again. Let's go to folder, and let's go down to, okay, I'll just show you with let's see. Okay, I can show you with this invite here. Okay, so let me pull this in and let me put a line around it. Okay, all right. So let's take this and what we're going to do is add a shadow. Okay, so here's a drop shadow. So now I need to adjust my border because it the weight of the border just didn't. Okay. I'm going to remove that because that actually was not what I was trying to accomplish. Let's see. Let's try this one. Okay. Now let's see if we can add a border to that one. I mean a shadow, sorry. Okay, drop shadow. Okay, that's better. Okay, so basically you just go to edit image, then you look down here and then click on shadows. Now what you can do is you can adjust the blur amount, the angle, the distance. You can see the intensity, make it a lot or just a tiny bit. And there you go. That's how you are going to add like a shadow. Okay, and this is not a completed invite. This is a test invite. But anyway, so I think that we've covered quite a lot. And I hope that some of these tips really help you get a grasp on how you can actually make your clip art and your work go farther. I think that this is just a really good example of how you can combine some images, and also you can play with the filters. Here's the single image we started with, and these are some options of how you could change the image. See, you could even go with a purple theme, and it's kind of cool that you can take and do those things. So if you didn't know about filters and how they could transform the images you're creating on Artistly or any other AI that you're creating them, even your own, if you're an artist and you're doing your own images, it's a way to extend the life and give you more options for your products. A lot of people are always looking for different ways that they can get more done in less time. Well, if you can transform entire packs, clip art packs, into different tones, whether they be muted or, darker. Now, obviously, you could take a primary color and it's going to be variations of that. So you kind of have to start with something that will work, and you can't really sometimes go from extremes, but it does give you a lot of different coloring options. And I know that sometimes we want our packs to be maybe for a birthday party invite, we would want brighter colors than if we're using the same image like a teddy bear or something, but we're going to use it for a baby shower. We might want a more pastel look or something that would be muted to the point where it could be used for a baby shower. So, and even if you're watching this and you don't create your own art, you're just looking at it for the design, you watch me for learning tips on how to design, then this is also a great video for you, because now you've learned how to even extend some of your purchased clip art that you purchased from someone else. You can take those images and do the same thing and help to transform them so that they're not looking identical to what maybe somebody else would be using that image for. So the more that you can do things like that to enhance, then the better. Now do keep in mind that most commercial, now if you buy a commercial clip art from me, I don't really care. You can adjust it however you want to. I'm not real restrictive. The main things you can't do with my clip art are resell it as clip art and mass produce, like, you would need a different license for that from my Etsy shop. But if you just want to use it as is, in a product, that's okay with me. Just keep in mind that the more that you make it different, then the more you set yourself apart. I think that's one of the reasons that it's a good idea to take and kind of make it your own. And filters are a way you can do that. But for most commercial clip art, just changing the color like we did with the filters is not going to be enough, because most of them want you to incorporate it into another design. So they want you to add other images and that sort of thing. So be sure when you're using commercial clip art that you actually do read the licensing so that you stay within the guidelines of the creator. So anyway, thank you. I'm so glad that you were able to join me for this video, and I hope you enjoyed it and that it will be a help in your business. I use Artistly AI to create all of my artwork. If you're curious about it, I do have a link with my affiliate link down in the description box. Check it out. They have a money back guarantee for, I don't know exactly how many days. At one point it was 30 days. So you can check it out. And if you don't like it, it doesn't work for you, you can always ask for a refund. I do have a special group on Facebook that I'd love to welcome you into if you use my affiliate link and want to learn more about how to use Artistly in your business. And I just want to thank you for watching my video. If you would, like and subscribe and leave me a comment. And I hope you have a great day. See you next time.